younger, then we think that's when people probably did live in basic glass houses and stuff.
No,
what they mean now.
Who's ever lived in a glass house? So cavemen went from rock to a nice crystal structure, did they? What are you talking about? When did people live in glass houses?
What they mean now, when that saying's used now, they mean sort of, plasma tellies, ornaments.
No, they don't.
They're saying don't chuck stuff about because you break it.
No, it's not about damaging your own property.
They don't mean you're inside the glass house throwing rocks inside your own glass house.
It's a metaphor. It means don't be having a go at people if you yourself have got more to lose. Do you know what I mean? It means it could be anything. Don't start a war where you could come off bad as well. It's about how fragile your situation is. If you live in a glass house, metaphorically, don't throw stones at someone else, because when he throws it back at you, your house is more easily damaged than his. Again, metaphorically.
It doesn't mean that if you're living in a glass house or in a house with other precious objects, you don't, in your own home, throw bricks about. Because that would be a very specific audience that I was trying to reach, that phrase. I mean, let's be honest, what kind of a mental
case? What? I think we've got the crux to this, right? I think I can answer. Right. Carl, what is an analogy?
It's sort of like a little story told quickly. Isn't it?
It's a little story told quickly. To what end?
Well, it depends what the story is.
Okay.
Give me an analogy.
Well, for me, I thought a one with the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a greenhouse. Before it was just a glass house.
Yeah.
Alright, then a glass house.
Okay. Right.
What I mean is that glass house is metaphorical. It's about the fragility of your situation as compared to your aggression or your...
You see, I just prefer people who live in a glass house have to answer the door.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I mean, because you may be a genius, because I don't get that. People who live in glass houses have to answer the door.
Okay, let's hear his explanation.
Because the people knocking at the door will be able to see you because it's a glass house.
But what?
But you literally mean it, don't you? There's no analogy there or metaphor for you. You literally mean if you live in a glass house and someone knocks the door. So there's no hidden meaning there, is there?
Well, no.
But that also, but you have to add a number of other things, other caveats. Surely, if you live in a glass house, don't walk around naked.
Yeah.
If you live in a...
These are literal. See, if you could actually make that into quite a nice saying there, because if someone said that to me and they weren't a shaved chimp, right? If they said people who live in glass houses have to answer the door, I think that means it means that there are no secrets. You can't hide behind anything. If you're very open, if you've chosen to be totally open all the time, you can't go back on it. So people, if you wear everything on your sleeve, if you shout around and you tell the truth, and you can't go back on it. They can see through you.
It can mean that as well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's handy. But just the idea that in your head there should be sayings for people who live in glass houses. Who is it that's living in a glass house?
Well, I'm not talking about them. It's just that if everyone else is bringing up about these people who are living in glass houses, let's get to the real problems they've got.
He still hasn't got to grips with the idea of the metaphor or the simile.
People who live in glass houses should live near a glazier.
Right. Well, here's another saying, right, that I learnt recently from a mate, right? Well, there's an elephant in the room.
Okay, I haven't heard that one, but explain it to me.
It's like when something's going on in a room, right, but no one's mentioning it because everyone's a bit too sort of. But in a way, it's better that it's out. It's like how whenever we go out for something to eat or a drink or something, it's normally after about 5 minutes the sort of topic gets onto the shape of my head.
Yeah. Well, right? I can't resist the shape of your head.
Right, so you're happy.
It's not just the shape, though, is it? It's the state of it as well. Outside and in. I mean, it's a fascinating little objet d'art. His head. It's perfectly round. It's got no hair where it should have. And it's hollow.
The features are slightly too small for the face.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's interesting how, like, I'm the elephant in the room, right? Nobody's talking about it. You mention it once, suddenly it's the talk of the town. It's what I mean. Everybody starts joining in, going, well, yeah, it's round, but it does suit you. And these are people who I don't even know sometimes, and they're all dipping in. and that is an elephant in a room.
So you don't want people to discuss the shape of your head or the lack of hair. You would feel better. You'd feel happier that they didn't mention that.
Sometimes I think it's better that it's out there. It's made me a stronger person, though. It's the same way, we were talking about religion and that. Samson Delilah, he got weaker without hair. Whereas with me, I think it's made me stronger. Because, it's almost like it's treated like a disability. Everybody's sort of mentioning it and talking about it. What's it like having a bald head? And, you know what I mean? So it's made me stronger.
But would you ever wear a wig?
Not really.
What was a long wig like Samson?
Well, the only time I wanted a wig was when I did jury duty once, wasn't it? And it was annoying that I was sat on the jury, right in front of, these criminals, right? Everybody else has got disguises. The judges have them wigs on, right?
That's not disguises!
That's a disguise. That's why judges wear them, right?
No! Well, then why do they print their name in the paper and have a picture? What do you mean it's a disguise?
It's a disguise, isn't it?
No! If it was a disguise, they'd go in with one of those glasses with a nose and the beard attached if it was a disguise. All judges would look like Groucho Marx if it was a disguise.
Well, I'm just saying that's what annoyed me when I was sat there on the front row, right? I couldn't have been any closer to the criminals, right? I was sat there and I thought, why didn't I just pop a little wig on or a pair of glasses?
I would have loved to have seen you in the front row at Crown Court.
No, because
I'd love to see it because in this country you're not allowed to show pictures of jurors. You can't take photos in a courtroom, so there's always these sketch artists that draw drawings, and it's on the news. The idea that we'd have seen 11 people and a sort of Krusty the Clown figure would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see the artist do a review, because it would be like complicated people. Oh, hey, he looks characterful, and then just a little round head.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown sitting on the end.
Carl, you said that your New Year's resolution was that you were going to learn something every day.
yeah,
Have you learned anything today?
if I can. Today, I don't know the full facts of it, but
Could I just say that when someone says they learn something new every day, that doesn't count if they forget it the next day.
no,
Because that would be Groundhog Day learning.
well, the thing I learnt today was about an octopus.
Oh,
Go on.
What they can do is, they've got 8 legs and that.
Yeah.
They
Tentacles.
they can use 6 of them legs to cover their head, so they look like a little stone. And use the other 2 to run off. Right?
He's thinking of Squiddly Diddly.
Yeah, it's a Disney image in his head, isn't
He's
it?
thinking
They're
of
pink.
But anyway, that's
So
that's
it's
not the
Pink
main
singing
thing.
a song in your mind and run it off, yeah.
No, but anyway, but something else I learnt, right? It's mainly about animals and that, because that's
Yeah.
normally quite interesting.
Yeah.
There's a chicken somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and
Specific.
and the owner of it was getting fed up because he had to feed it and that, but it wasn't.
Embellishment.
it
Guesswork.
No, come on, let's hear it.
It wasn't giving anything back.
No eggs.
No eggs, right? So he was like, I'm sick of this. Anyway, someone told him, pop a little axe next to its little house, right? So when it comes out in the morning thinking, I'll have another lazy day doing nothing, right? He saw this axe, and suddenly it was like, alright, right?
I'm for
Next
the top,
day,
it thought, yeah.
it laid about 6 eggs.
It's rubbish.
Through
Squeeze
worry.
the
It's
That's
rubbish.
quick.
The chicken wouldn't recognise an axe as a threat. It wouldn't be able to reason that I better start working or I'll be meat. I better start. It's absolute rubbish. Once again, it's this ridiculous thing you got that one personifying animals to reasoning powers better than yours. I mean, I think you make chickens and monkeys cleverer than you in your stories, which is weird. Okay, it didn't happen and wouldn't work.
No, well, as always, things like that always get me thinking.
What else haven't you learnt today?
No,
Carl?
he's got his mind's working now. This apparently has got his
Yeah,
mind
so that's
working.
rubbish.
Well, do you think then that it's worth looking after animals then if there isn't any memory? If they don't know what's happening anyway, you're always going on about don't be cruel to things.
Yeah, why would you be cruel? There's one thing about imagining chickens can reason, and because they can't, being cruel to them. Why does it matter whether an animal can reason or not for you not to be cruel to it? The reason I don't like blood sports isn't the fact that there's a fox missing. It's the psychology of the people that get off on seeing an animal ripped to pieces. They wouldn't like it if it was a robot. They wouldn't care. For some reason, in their psychology, they like They like this sport. Why does it have to be a sport? They're not culling. They're not putting things down for a good. They like to see this fox ripped apart or a bull tortured for their own pleasure. That's why you shouldn't do. Why would you ever want to be cruel to an animal, whether it can reason or not?
No. I mean, I don't mean really cruel, but I mean like there's an advert on that's on in the in Britain, advertising some supermarket, right? And it's saying, we look at before we kill our chickens and what have you. They have a great life. This is like the voiceover, and you see happy chicken.
Yeah.
And it's going, we give it a good little house to live in. It's got straw.
Yeah.
It eats good.
Yeah.
And then we kill it. Right?
Yes, well that's better, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think it is though, is it? Because at the end of the day, if I was that chicken, right, I'm that chicken, loving my life. I can't believe me luck, right?
Well, we'd be pleased because we at least he'd be able to do the show and we'd have some interesting conversations. Yeah.
So there it is, right, wandering about. It's got its nice little field that it's working on.
Yeah.
It's got its nice food and everything. But it's going to die.
Yeah, we're all going to die.
But then, if you were like a rubbish chicken, that had like a rubbish life, you'd be going, oh, kill me.
Carl, they're not thinking what's going to happen tomorrow.
They don't know that they're going to get for the chop, are they?
A chicken's not going, I'm fed up with this. I can't wait for that axe to be used on my neck.
Yeah. Well, that's another. Now you've mentioned the cutting off of an head, right?
Yeah.
On the chicken. That's something else I've learned, right?
It's like a pinball, is mine.
Amazing.
Isn't it? Ding dong, bong, dang, ding, ding, dong, dong. Oh, head, ding, ding, chicken, ding, 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 head off, bing, dong.
No, right, but this was in a proper science magazine as well. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't have a go. This wasn't something on the internet. This was printed in a magazine.
You read it.
Okay, and what was it?
And here comes the filter. It's going to come out nonsense.
Right. Well,
you could have Professor Stephen Hawking sitting there whispering stuff in your ear, and it could all be true. But when you said it, gobbledygook.
Well, let's see then. Let's see, right? What they've done another experiment, right?
Yeah.
They've cut somebody's head off, right? And you know how they used to do it in the olden days, where they'd put your head in a stock, cut it off for whatever reason, right? You've done something wrong, right?
Yeah.
And the question that everybody used to talk about in the village was, I made eye contact with it, right? And it was a bit worrying because he was looking at me and he looked fed up and that.
No, he's dead.
So they've put a bit of work into this, and they've done it again somewhere, right? And they've worked out that when the head comes off the body, it stays alive and that for 30 seconds.
Well, no, they don't know that. They can never know that.
No, they did it. They did this experiment.
What's alive? What's alive? But there's loads of issues here. One, no one's experimenting with human beings cutting their head off, Carl.
Well,
two, no.
So you read this in what? Executioners Monthly?
This is
two, Carl. It's what your definition of alive is, because you can be alive and have no conscience.
No, but this is where it gets weird, right?
Yeah, this is where it gets weird. You talking about it?
So the head's off, right? And what they did was they chucked a load of questions at it.
All sanctioned by the government. So the head lands perfectly on the neck and goes, what do you want to know?
It said,
so they're asking questions and it's going, do you know what? To be quite honest, I'll answer your question. I'm a little bit annoyed about the execution still.
Well, that was the interesting thing. They said it's about...
No, it's not. It didn't happen, Carl.
Let me hear it.
Oh, don't talk.
Let me hear it.
What are you talking about? There's people around in white coats going, quick, ask it a question. It's bleeding.
Right. So they said for about 25 to 30 seconds. The last 5 seconds, it is sort of like, can't be bothered answering them.
Right,
apart from that, they were chucking stuff. I don't think it spoke. I don't think it was like 2 and 2 is 4 and stuff. It was more. It was to do with blinking.
So blink once if you say yes, blink twice.
So I told it. Said, listen, when you die, you're probably not going to be able to talk because your jaw's going to be on the ground. You're not going to be able to open your mouth. If you do, you'll fall over backwards and hit your head. Now listen, blink 1 for yes and 2 for no. Yeah, right. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, the axe nice and sharp. Yeah, you're talking shit again.
You promise to do it? Yes.
Yeah. The thing is, they wouldn't be able to do it with you because if they cut your head off, it would just roll. It would roll away because it's perfectly spherical. And they go, oh no, there's
Plus, it takes about 20 seconds whenever you ask Carl anything for the question to process and for him to start to formulate an answer.
Anyway, if people listening and that, if they learn anything, that's amazing. Just send it in because
it'll come out gobbledygook when Carl tries to translate it.
Interesting facts is what we're after then. Plus also, if you've got any questions for Carl, if you just want to see how his mind works, then you can get in touch with us.
Or whether his mind works.
Indeed. We've
any doctors, psychologists out there.
podcast@rickygervais.com. That's how to get in touch.
Carl, It's what we've all been waiting for. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, well, this one sent in from Sam in New York, right? And it's about a fire that happened, right, in a really... Do you know, like in New York, they have loads of big buildings, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Right, really, really tall ones and
Skyscrapers.
stuff. Yeah. And there was a fire in one of them, right? So they did as expected. They called up, fire brigade and that. They turned up, right? Fire engine parked up. It's like, right, where's the fire? And they said, oh, it's on like floor 100 or whatever. And they said, oh no, we've brought the fire engine with the short ladders.
Stupid mistake, but go on.
Right. So anyway, so the fire's going and that, and they're saying, is there anyone in there? They're going, I don't know, there might be someone up there, but the telecom's not working and stuff.
Who do you think might be up there, Rick?
I don't know.
But just a woman, I imagine. Just a woman or a child.
Is there a fireman that could climb up a building at all without a ladder?
That seems unlikely, but go on.
So anyway, so they said, well, how are we going to get up there?
Yeah. We can't.
But they've only bought a short ladder.
No, we can't. Let's go home. Okay, that was
grippage.
Because they made up words. The fireman, the NYPD fireman.
There's a lot of grippage
on the side of the building and stuff. So anyway, they said, why don't we just go and get a monkey, right? So they got a monkey.
That's a bit of a jump.
Is that policy now in the New York Fire Department?
Well, you've got to think quick, haven't you? At the end of the day, if people are up there, you don't start querying if it works or not. You try everything that you can to help someone out, right?
That's the first thing I thought of, was it a monkey?
So it was quicker for them to go and get a monkey than to go back and get the long ladders.
Why don't they get Why don't they get Spider-Man?
Yeah, call Spider-Man.
Yeah, call Spider-Man.
So anyway, so they got a monkey down there, and they said, right,
where did they get it from?
We don't know, from the local zoo or something.
Oh yeah.
So they said, look, let's we've got to remember there could be someone up there,
right.
And it'll shock them a bit if a monkey comes in, right?
Yeah.
So they said,
yeah, I don't think they'd care. Their building's on fire. They're not going to go, that's weird, there's a monkey at the window. They'll be screaming, save me! There's a monkey.
So anyway, from them. So they said, right, we'll just get it a little small uniform and that, the smallest you've got.
But hold on though. Actually, where are you going to get that? I'm going back to the station. We'll get the long ladders while you're there.
No time.
No, I bought the small uniform. I just didn't bring the long ladders. You're an idiot.
So anyway, it goes up there. It's got all the kit on and what. It's got its little harder on and all that. It grabs. There was like a little person up there. Manages to grab that.
Who was up there then?
It was just
someone that was just the right size for a monkey to be able to rescue, which is handy. Because if it had been anyone else, like a larger person or a family, we'd all be screwed.
No, I don't know about the size of it, but it's just the story saying how it was quite a big monkey, and that it was good at breaking down doors.
Oh yeah.
It was good at climbing into small spaces and stuff like that. Anyway,
it's big enough to carry a fully grown man, but small enough to climb through a cat flap.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
which is handy.
So anyway, it managed to
get the person on as well.
It got the person and everything, and now it says it's sort of. It's on call if they ever need it again.
Sure, and if they ever get anywhere again and they've forgotten the long ladders, but there's plenty of grippage, they just call for Coco.
So that's this week's monkey news.
Bollocks.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our podcast there. Another half hour of absolute drivel. I've been Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
See you next time.
And Carl Pilkington. And we'd all like to thank those brilliant guys at Positive Internet for hosting this podcast brilliantly. Positive Internet hosting the world's #1 podcast. Here's DJ Reach Around.
It is hard eating a knob.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night. 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 I could eat a knob I could eat a knob at night. 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 night. I could eat a knob at night. I could eat a knob at night. I could eat a knob at night.